Hello, and welcome to week 5 of Unsolved Mysteries. This week, we'll be talking about the man from Torrid. So, in 1954, in July, a man entered Tokyo International Airport. Everything was okay until he had it in his passport, and the immigration officer read it, and it said it was from Torrid. There's an issue with Torrid. It doesn't exist. It's not a real place on planet Earth that you can visit, because the country itself never existed. Now, the immigration officer, being quite sharp, catches on to this, and despite the passport looking really legitimate, since the country doesn't exist, they take the man into questioning. Now, the man's description is the following. He's Caucasian, he has a beard, he primarily spoke French, however he also spoke Japanese, and a lot of other many other languages apparently. There's nothing else of importance about the man. Nothing else that makes him look different than anyone else. He's just a regular guy. This is an actor portraying the man here, by the way. So, the location. The man tries to convince the immigration officers that Torrid does indeed exist. He does this by stating 3 things. Well, for the first thing, it is in between France and Spain. The second thing, it's existed for 1,000 years. The third thing, when given a map, he points to the Principality of Andorra, which does indeed exist. He's very confused when his country isn't there, though. So the immigration officers would not budge on the fact that Torrid does not exist. Rightfully so, because it's not on a map. Here is a map of the Principality of Andorra. It's right here, below France and above Spain. So, the story then continues. They take him into the hotel room to keep for the night while they try and figure out who the hell he is. And they put 2 guards outside his room. The issue there, though, is that by the time the morning came, the man's gone along with all the documents pertaining to the case. That's an issue. That means that it essentially never occurred. There's no evidence that it ever occurred. So how do we know it ever happened? And that's the first theory. Did it ever happen? Well, the first theory is that it's just an urban legend. It was so long ago and there's no evidence. It was almost 7 years ago, and this means that it could have just been made up to tell a spooky story over a campfire, such as the Hook Man or Bloody Mary. It's also possible that back then either the agents lied or the man lied. If the man lied, why did he have a fake passport and how did he escape the room? If the officers lied, what's the purpose of their lying? Was it to have a bit of fun on a boring day? Well, we'll never really know. But there's many other conspiracy theories that give a lot of answers. So the first one's time travel. Now, time travel is a bit of a stretch and there's many issues, but it makes sense for the fact that it took place 1,000 years for Torrid to exist, because the theory posits that in our future, the Principality of Andorra becomes Torrid. And 1,000 years later, this man travels back in time, either accidentally or intentionally. That brings up many issues, though. First of all, humans will look, speak, and act very different in 1,000 years than how they do now, especially from how they would have acted in the 70s. That's an issue. Another issue is the fact that if the man did it accidentally, well, first of all, how do you time travel accidentally? 2, he would have realised instantly he would have time travelled due to the difference in technology. Think of the amount of technology that's different from the 70s till now, then think of 1,000 years. That's a long time, and he would have known immediately, especially when he saw Andorra on a map and goes, oh, Andorra hasn't existed for 1,000 years, because if he was from the future, he would have known it still existed. If he did it intentionally, why would he do something so stupid? Time traveling with a passport from the future, it would definitely say the date of when you were born, which would have been like, what, 3000 something? It doesn't make sense. Time travel, for me at least, doesn't really make a lot of sense. Number 3, a parallel universe. The final and the most prolific theory is that he came from a parallel dimension. He slipped through from his dimension where Andorra is torrid, and he slipped into ours. This explains everything. It explains the fact that he didn't know what Andorra was, that it could have existed for 1,000 years because it did in his universe, where the passport from, where he disappeared to, because he slipped into his reality again. The issue, though, is Occam's razor, because Occam's razor posits that whatever theory takes the least amount of jumping and jumping to conclusions, then that one's true. This one takes so many jumps. We have to not only believe in the multiverse theory, we also have to believe that it's possible to slip between these universes. It's also possible that it could have been a glitch in the Matrix. It's so many jumps and leaps to get to different conclusions that it's probably the most likely that it's either an urban legend or a hoax. However, there's no way we can ever prove that it didn't happen unless we somehow figure out that either time travel isn't possible, which is already likely that it isn't, or that alternate universes don't exist, which we most likely will never be able to believe. Well, that's it for this week. Next week, we'll be talking about Easter Island. Thanks so much for watching, guys.